Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new Minecraft series. I am Papa Nick making a return to YouTube. So make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and let's get on with the episode. All right, we are starting out our brand new world for the very first time. And we are in a tree. That's a good start. We could punch these trees and get ourselves some wood. So that's actually a nice little start. Now let's grab ourselves a quick crafting bench. We'll also make up a little bit of wood here so that we can make some wooden tools and grab some cobblestone. That'll be a nice little start. I think I saw, yeah, we got some stone right here, so I'm just gonna grab up 3 pieces of cobblestone. Actually, maybe a little bit more so that we can get ourselves a furnace as well as a couple sets of tools here. We're gonna want our axe. We're gonna want a sword probably as well. So this will be a good little spot to get started. Okay, and just like that, we got our first stone tool. We're gonna actually make ourselves a axe, like I said, and yeah, we're gonna grab ourselves a sword just so that we can be a little bit careful here getting started out. And actually, I think I'm gonna hold on to this wooden pickaxe as kind of a memento for the start of our forever world. So now that we've got ourselves started, I actually did pick out this seed, and we are playing in large biomes, so we have a long travel ahead of us so that we can get to where we're going to be settling down and building our starter base. So along the way, we're going to be grabbing some materials like that chicken right over there. All right, so let's get on with our journey. Let's see if we can find some materials. Like I said, guys, we're going to be traveling a long distance because this is large biomes, so let's figure out where we're headed. And we're gonna grab some meat and some leather here as well. If we can find ourselves some string, we're gonna have to probably wait till nighttime, but we can make ourselves some bundles. That's gonna help with this long journey ahead. But I think we need to head south. I'm not actually sure which direction is south at the moment. Okay, so let's head off in this direction and see if we can get ourselves into a little bit of trouble. Ooh, we got ourselves another portal over here. Let's see if there's any useful material, and we got to be careful. Hold on. Almost jumped into that ravine right away. We are just playing on regular survival, so we wouldn't lose our world or anything, but let's try to avoid that if we can. And there's a little bit of materials here. This will help us get started. I don't mind taking all this cheap armor, and yeah, we got thorns and protection. That'll be a little something. We can also use up these swords real fast as well. That'll be fine. And I think I'm going to grab this chest too. Ooh, and we have sheep here. Let's take up these sheep so that we don't end up, losing our lives. Like I said, we can sleep through the night. I do want to get a little bit of string so that we can, make some bundles, but I think we'll be all right. If we can find a couple more sheep, that probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Okay, not any more sheep, but we have found a nice cave here. Maybe we see if we can find a little bit of coal so that we can cook up some of this food because our hunger bar is starting to deplete. So I think we'll try to grab some coal out of this little cave here, and we got to be careful though. Luckily we have a sword, but we don't have much health. And yeah, right there we have some coal and actually some iron too, so that'd be nice. We have some copper. Obviously we can make some copper armor if we want to, but I think this is, oh, look at that. Okay, so this actually might be a pretty cool place to do a little bit of exploring. I do see some mobs down there. And what is that? What is that, guys? Right off the rip? We're going to get ourselves some diamonds right off the rip. Beautiful. Okay, we got to be careful here, though. I think I'm going to grab up this coal, cook up some food, and make sure that we're okay to go down into that area. While our meat cooks up, I actually think I'm going to come back up here and see if we can find a couple more sheep. That way we can kind of just get ahead of things while, we're not wasting time and everything. I think that's a good idea. And there we have it. We have a couple sheep over here. Actually, I think it's just one sheep. Oh, there we go. We got more sheep. So we're going to have ourselves a white bed. Maybe we can find a flower or two so that we can color these and we don't have to, have the most boring bed in the game. I think that's a good idea. Oh, and we have ourselves a wolf. We need some bones. We need some bones so we can get ourselves a wolf. I'll help you out, buddy. Thanks for your help as well. Oh, I got a couple of wolves out here. That's perfect. So let's see if we can find some dye that we can turn our white bed into something a little bit better. Okay, so these are the new baby mobs as well. I don't know how I feel about it. It doesn't have ears. it doesn't have ears. I don't know how I feel about the baby sheep. Maybe we'll find some more baby mobs along the way, and it'll be a little bit more pleasant looking than that one. We'll get ourselves a pink bed here. I think that's a pretty good start to the game. Nice little pink bed to get ourselves started. Nothing wrong with that. Beautiful. And it's actually already almost nighttime. So I think do we risk it right off the rip to get ourselves some string? I mean, if we go down in here and there's a lot of stuff, we're probably going to want those bundles. So we have our bed here. I think we set our spawn. We look for at least one piece of string right off the start here. We have a little bit of armor, so I'm not too worried. Luckily, it's protection 4 on our chest plate. I don't know. It feels a little risky, but I think that's worth it. Oh my god, I think I forgot how dark it is at nighttime in Minecraft. I can't see anything, guys. Maybe I gotta turn up my brightness. Actually, I should probably check my settings. I don't even know what I'm playing at right now. But let's take... Oh my god, these guys are so much stronger than I remember. It's been forever since I played Minecraft. Yeah, wow. Maybe the gold swords are just really weak. What does this thing have on it? Sweeping edge? Come on. All right, let's hope he drops string. And he did not, which is not good. Do we risk it with this skeleton and try to get some bones so that we can get ourselves a wolf? Might be a good idea. Oh my god, there's so many creepers right here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why are there so many creepers? Oh no, this is a terrible idea. Okay, we're all right. We're all right. We gotta calm down. Oh my god. I just want one piece of string. And there's 900 creepers around here. All right, we got a spider. We got a spider. Let's see. Come on, give me one piece of string. Yes, let's go. We got 2 pieces. Awesome. Let's see if we can get this guy. Oh yeah, he's tagging. He's our tag dog. I like him. I like him. Get him. Get him. Come on. Get him. He's a running. Nice. You're our buddy. Yeah, let's go. All right, let's go find our bed and get out of this mess. Let's see. Oh, wait, can we get a couple more pieces of string? That'd be actually really nice. Nope, I don't think we did. All right, let's get out of here. Oh my god, there's 2 creepers right above where our bed is. They're gonna follow us down here. Oh no. Oh no, I don't know what to do about this. I don't know what to do about this. Let's get them far enough away from our bed so it doesn't blow it up. Oh no, don't kill my dog. Oh my god. Okay, our dog's still alive. Oh my god. Okay, let's sleep. Whew. So now with the first night survived like a true champion, it's time to go get those diamonds and see if we can't find any other raw materials. Okay, I've got a couple of torches here. Let's see if we can survive. I don't see many mobs, which is nice. I think I'm just going to make a beeline. Oh, but we need an iron pickaxe. I forgot. That's okay. Oh my god. I don't have enough. I see mobs. I saw one. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Oh my god. Whew. Hey, get back here. Eat that. Nice. Okay. We need to find a little bit more coal so that we can make some more torches. And we also need to smelt a little bit of iron. Okay, we have a couple of torches here, and I found a little bit more coal, so I'm going to gather up all of this so that, you know, we don't run out and we can smelt some more food as we need it. Okay, and I see a couple of skeletons over there, so we got to be careful as we make our way down here. Trying to... Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I just said we got to be careful, guys. Okay, and finally, we have made it down to the diamonds. Safe and sound, I believe. So let's grab these up. I think it's only going to be 3, but maybe we can have one hidden underneath here. Oh, let's go. Okay, 4 diamonds. So that gives us a pickaxe at least. See if we can find any more laying around here. This is a beautiful start to our brand new adventure. Okay, so I think we found everything that we can find down there. I did grab the chains that were hanging that bridge over there, and we also grabbed up a little bit more iron and a bunch of our copper, because we are going to need a bunch of copper for our starter base, but we could deal with that in a little bit. So for now, it's time to venture off and find a nice spot for our starter base. Yeah, it's a bit of an adventure. Like I said, we're playing in large biomes, so things are spread out quite a bit in this world. So we have a ton of blocks to venture off into. Hopefully we can find some villages to raid and maybe just some cool sites along the way. So let's begin our adventure. Hello everybody, I just wanted to take a minute here while we kind of start our adventure to say thank you for everybody that's stuck around. You know, it's kind of crazy. I've looked back on this and I've been kind of uploading videos for 5-6 years and really haven't done much with it. And that's my own fault, right? That's my own inconsistency. I get to a point and then I kind of just drop off, and that's really not fair to anybody that's come to this channel to watch my videos. And so I'm going to try my best to avoid that in the future. It's been a little bit tough. Obviously we spent the last month or so kind of trying something different, but ultimately that didn't feel right. And so returning to making Minecraft content just seemed like the right thing to do. And ultimately I feel like I'm in a really good place mentally and physically and with my family and everything, where I can really put myself into this and try to make the best content possible for you guys. So I just wanted to say thank you once again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here it is where we're going to be setting up our base. And I got to say, I love the generation of these mountains all around us. I think this is such a cool area. Obviously, we have to contend with a ton of birch trees, but I think as time goes on, we can really make this area look awesome. It's a nice little grove down in here. And then, yeah, of course, we have all these mountains that we can play with. And yeah, I think it's going to be awesome if we just build a base up on top of this mountain. We have this nice view out in front of us. I think everything is going to be super cool. So I think what we have to do now is get some chests built out here. I think I have a couple that we've gathered. And yeah, we need to kind of organize our supplies and set up some temporary storage, some furnaces and things so that we can really get going on building this base. And then we're obviously going to have to venture off and find some oak trees and chop a bunch of oak trees, a bunch of these birch trees as well. And then, yeah, we need some other materials as well. So it's going to be a bit of a grind here to get this starter base started, but I think this is a great area to do it. So yeah, bear with me as we do a little bit of material gathering. Okay, so we've gathered up all of the oak I think we're going to need for this project. We also gathered up a little bit of birch to get ourselves started. I think we're going to need a little bit more, but luckily I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue. But for now, we're going to grab our pickaxes here and head off to a cave and see if we can't gather up a bunch of cobblestone that we're going to smelt down into stone, make into stone bricks. We're also going to need tuft and a little bit of our deep slate and stuff too. So I think we're going to do a little bit of a mining session here and grab up all the materials that we're going to need. Okay, so this cave looks like a pretty good spot to get started. It looks like we're going to be able to drop down here pretty far. So I think this is going to be a good spot to kind of dig around and get started. And I think we're just going to drop down as far as this is going to let us go. It looks like we have some dripstone here too, which could be good for later so that we can get ourselves some renewable fuel. But yeah, this is perfect. This is going to lead us right down, hopefully, to Deep Slate area. That way we can kind of just do all the digging that we need to do down there. And yeah, that should be good. Hopefully we have enough pickaxes, and I am going to grab up all of this copper because we're going to be using a ton of it. We need to make our entire roof out of copper, which copper ingots and copper ore here actually doesn't really go that far. So hopefully we can find enough materials to kind of gather up enough, and maybe we can kind of, cheese the backside of our starter base for today's episode. But yeah, I think this should be a good area to kind of get started. Okay, it doesn't look like it goes much further, so I think I'm going to grab up these raw materials and then just kind of staircase our way down to Deep Slate, and then we can use this whole area to kind of gather all the stone and stuff we need. We also are probably going to need a little bit of diorite and other materials like that, so I think we'll spend some time in this area, kind of make this our starter like mine area. I think that should be fine. Look at that. Oh, we got some diamonds, but they're in regular stone. So, oh man, those are actually like rare now. So we're not going to grab these right now. Oh, that is amazing though. So we have some rare diamonds here at the start of our venture. This is beautiful. Okay, but we don't have any silk touch or anything, so we can't gather these to bring them back to our base or anything, but that is super cool. Okay, we've made it down to Deep Slate layer, and actually we broke through into a little bit of a mine area, so I think we're gonna try to get down here, kind of just build this up a little bit so that we can escape when we need to, if my dog doesn't push me off here. Okay, so let's just do a little bit of looking around and kind of torching up this area. Like I said, we don't need a ton of Deep Slate to get started. We mostly just need tuft, but I do want to kind of secure this area so that when we do need more, we can come down here and it's not a big deal. Okay, it looks like we have a bunch of tuft here too, so that's perfect. And wait, what's this? Why do we have a bunch of tuft bricks? Well, that's cool. That'll help us out a ton. Okay. We are gonna need some of those tuft bricks, so that's perfect. Why are those spawning naturally like that? Huh. Oh, okay. So it's a trial chamber. Oh, that's perfect because we're going to need a bunch of copper. I didn't know that they had tough bricks kind of like around it. Oh, that's perfect. We're going to need a bunch of copper so that way we could just come down here and kind of raid this. So that's perfect. Amazing. Okay, yeah, there's all the copper that we're going to need. Awesome. It also looks like we have a geode right here inside of the trial chamber, so that's super cool. Okay, but I'm not really equipped to raid a trial chamber at the moment. Yeah, those skeletons right over there will definitely mess us up, so I think I'm gonna take a back seat on that at the moment, and like I said, just gather up all the tuft we need. And oh, here you go. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, let's grab up all the tuff we need, go back up and grab a bunch more stone and stuff like that, so that way we can kind of get ourselves started on our starter base, and then we can come back down here and grab up all the copper that we need for the roof of our starter base. All right, so we have some good base materials here to get started. We also have our furnaces cooking down some of this cobblestone into our regular stone that we can make stone bricks. But I need to go ahead and start manicuring this landscape a little bit for our starter base. So I think I'm gonna have to grab a shovel and do a bit of digging. And it's probably gonna take me a little bit because, yeah, I don't have like a diamond shovel or anything like that yet, even though we do have diamonds. Is that a good use of our early game diamonds? Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to make ourselves a diamond shovel to make this a little bit easier on ourselves, get started, and then just kind of lay the foundation for our starter base. All right, so now with a fresh haircut to our lawn here, I think it's time we get started building the base of our starter base here. But the only problem is I need a few more materials. I need some moss, actually. So we're going to have to do a little bit of adventuring and try to find some moss because, yeah, obviously we need mossy stone variants and things like that. So, yeah, a little bit of an adventure here, and then we'll be ready to get started. All right, so I found this a pale oak forest, and it's got a little bit of dark oak in it as well. So I think I'm going to take a little bit of time here while we're out adventuring to gather up some of these materials and definitely the saplings, because we're going to need these in the future. We're going to need these for the roof trim on our starter base here. So yeah, I think I'm going to spend a little bit of time gathering up a little bit of material. We'll definitely grab some of those eye blossom flowers as well, because I really like those. So yeah, I think we're going to spend a little bit of time here just gathering some basic materials before we continue on looking for some moss. Ah, okay, there it is. We have found ourselves an azalea tree. We should be able to dig our way down and get ourselves into a lush cave now. So that is very good. Okay. Oh, back up. Oh, my dog's gonna die. Oh, yep. My dog died. Ah, that hurts. But we found our way into the cave. Oh, I guess there was a much easier way down here, huh? All right, well, continue on. Now with the return back home here, you can see that I've already gone ahead and laid out the foundation for our house using our brick and like stone brick variants around the edges, and then kind of filling in with our tuft variants. We also have this little bit of like a step up here into the entryway, with this step down being into like our kitchen and then kind of like our living area. We're gonna have some storage over here. That's kind of why the floor is a little bit ugly, but you can also see that I've done a little bit of dividers in the floor, so we have that fun pattern there. These are going to be walls, so they don't need any real texturing. We have some of our pale moss in here as like a little bit of a carpet in the kitchen area. I think this is going to look really cool. So I think what we're going to have to do now is grab a couple more axes, and we're going to strip a bunch of oak wood down so that we have nice fancy walls here. We're also going to build up a little bit more of the stone here in the kitchen, and then yeah, we're going to have to grab some sand and stuff to smelt down into glass. We have a bunch of other materials, like miscellaneous materials throughout this entire build as well, but we can get a little bit of the walls put up and give a kind of a visual of where we're going with this building. All right, so we've made a little bit of progress here. You can see we kind of have our doors framed out, kind of a little side door over here. We're bringing in some details. We also have a nice little staircase here in the entryway. You can see where our stove is going to be put in. We're also having a little bit of campfire under here to create a little plume of smoke. But yeah, everything's coming along pretty well. You can see these holes right now is because I need to convert this mud into packed mud and then into mud bricks. And that's just taking a little bit of time here. But yeah, everything's coming along pretty well. We have a bunch of windows in here and everything, so it's gonna be nice and like sunlit, I think. So that's gonna be pretty cool. But yeah, a little bit of details out here with the copper railing. We're also gonna have like shelves here along the windows just to kind of frame those out and add a little bit more details. We'll obviously have a nice little road in here and some things going on off the side. But yeah, everything's coming along really well, so I'm just going to continue to plug on, like I said, get some of these packed mud bricks on the wall outside here. But yeah, everything's going pretty well, and then we're gonna tackle the interior as much as possible as well. But I think that's gonna kind of just come along with time, as we kind of continue to gather materials and things kind of just fill out in these spaces. But I think things are going to look really nice for today. All right, guys, big progress update here. As you can see, the building is really starting to take shape. We still have a ton to do because we need to go grab a bunch of copper from the copper trial chamber thing that we found earlier and slap on a nice bluish teal green roof to this whole building. But I think it looks so good, and there's also a ton of details around like the windows and stuff that we need to continue building out. Ignore my dirt staircase here. But yeah, I'm really excited for how this is coming out. I love this shape, and yeah, if we make our way inside, it's so spacious and so large that we really have a bunch of room to kind of expand as we continue to build out this world. So I really like this building, and I'm really excited to get this roof on. So let's grab some materials and make our way down to that copper trial chamber, and yeah, grab up a bunch of copper down there. That'll make this building kind of fly through here and really finish up everything that we need to do. Okay, let's go ahead and make our way in here. I'm trying to be a little bit stealthy because I'm not entirely sure what we have for enemies around here. I think we have some skeletons over there, so we got to be careful. We don't have the best armor, and then I think this room usually spawns the the little wind guys. So we got to be a little bit careful here. Oh, we didn't bring any additional blocks either. I'm going to grab some blocks real quick and kind of cover up some of those spawners and hopefully give ourselves a little bit of an easier time at this rather than trying to tackle all of those spawners all at once. I think this would be enough here. Let's just run over and try to cover up that skeleton spawner before it spawns. All right, perfect. Now we can take down this little wind guy wherever he went. Oh, hey, we got our first key. Look at that. Okay, let's cover that up real quick. I think this thing right here will... Yeah, let's go. Under lock and key. Hey, we got some iron ingots. I'll take that. Only 2, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to do a little bit of exploring around here. I see some dispensers. We're definitely going to grab those because we're going to need them later on. And yeah, we're going to tear up a bunch of this copper and see if we can stay out of trouble as best as possible. Okay, so I think we made out pretty well here. We have a nice loot stack in here. We also got a diamond axe out of one of the little chest things there. We also got a nice little enchanted bow here. We've got some other materials. We got some potions and stuff also laying around. But I think there's plenty more to explore in here. But I think we're going to head back now since our inventory is pretty full. We don't necessarily have all the space to put all this stuff right at the moment. So I think we're going to have to definitely come back here and continue to raid this place and really strip it all out of its copper and all that stuff. But I think we made out pretty well here for our first little forte into the trial chamber. All right, ladies and gentlemen, a ton of progress made here with our starter base, and you can see it's looking so nice at the moment. Obviously, we're not done. A lot of little details still need to go into this build, but I think it's a good time to kind of showcase the progress and stuff. You can see we have this nice white chimney that breaks up the green on the roof. We also have some bushes and stuff. We need to plant some flowers up here in these windows. We need a little bit more detail out in this side of the building as well as in this area, but we did bring in a nice little path, and if we go on inside, you can see we started to add some details, but there is a ton of empty room throughout this whole place. Like I said earlier, it's kind of a good thing. It means we can build out this whole area as we progress throughout the game. We can kind of live in this space and not make it feel so, finished right now, but there is a ton of space for us to grow, which I'm really excited about. We have our nice little kitchen area in here, a little bit of storage. We have a little bit more storage underneath our stairs here, and we need to finish up the storage in this area. Like I said, a ton of little details still left to go, but I'm really happy with how this is coming along, and it's taking a little bit longer than I would like, to be honest, because there is so many little pieces and stuff, but I do love this build so much. The next thing we need to do is add some lights up in this tower up here and just add a little bit of technology throughout our whole build. Right now it's very medieval and it has a little bit of kind of life to it, but I want to add that little bit of redstone to it just to kind of show that we have that electrical capability throughout this whole build, and I think it's going to make it really pop. And actually, as we continue throughout the world, we're going to be continuing kind of that electrical medieval kind of hybrid between the two. I think it's a really fun build style, so I'm really excited to kind of get some solar panels, some windmills, and all that kind of stuff, and kind of make it look like everything's connected and kind of brought to life with some electricity throughout the whole thing. But I absolutely love this build. Like I said, it needs a little bit more detail right now, so before we finish up, I need to add a few more details, and then we can come back here with some shaders on and take a nice final tour. All right, ladies and gentlemen, one final look here with the shader packs on. You can see that we've added a little bit of detail up there to kind of show that electricity coming through. We obviously have the nice lights up there. We also extended out over here with a nice little awning where we could put like a little garden bed eventually. We also have this little kind of covered canopy over here as well. And then just brought in some flowers and things up top here. Kind of just brought things to life. We did have this guy moving for a little bit, but it looks like he has become statuified, but that's okay for now. We'll probably give him some purpose over in this garden area later on. I think it looks pretty cool over there once they start moving around, but I think that's pretty cool. Once we step inside over here as well, we extended out our storage over here completely. We also added little bits of detail up above here. We still have a ton of detail, ton of space to kind of continue. You can also see that electricity. You can also see that kind of electrical component coming down into here, and we can do something here on the wall later on. I think this is a kind of a cool little area. We also brought those copper lamps into here. I want these ones to oxidize just a little bit though, but right now we don't have any honeycomb to kind of wax them at the stage, so I'm just leaving them as is. We come over here again, we can do some more decorating on the walls and stuff, but we are limited as we are still in the first episode with our bits of decoration. I think everything's looking really fun though. Again, selling that kind of electrical component with this with the lodestone kind of being our electrical conduit, if you will. And then just, yeah, continuing to build out these areas and add details throughout. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and just kind of decorating and making it look a lot more like we've lived in it for a time period. But obviously we haven't yet, so things are a little bit empty at the moment, but I have to say I absolutely love this starter base, and I'm really happy with it. So I do think that's going to be it for me in this episode. Again, thank you all for coming back and watching my videos. If you did enjoy it, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon.